Hi guys, Dave in Texas here, and today I want to show you my ES339 Gibson Fake from China. I have modified this once before and I barely got it running, okay? But since that last modification, it's failed again, alright? And stubbornly, I kept trying to use a much thicker gauge of wire. Let me zoom in on this, okay? Get that zoom working. And as you can see, it's very stiff, it's very hard, it's very thick. I can't remember what gauge it is, but it's impossible to get this thing to free bend. In other words, there's always some type of tension on this wire, and when you try to pull it through these little F-holes, it has no way to go, and it just pops loose on the soldering. The soldering's not really thick and very hard, hard on it, sorry guys. And trying to get these large shaft potentiometers into this guitar and get that wiring through is like trying to chase a rat through a rat hole. It's like damn near impossible, right? And you heard me cuss and fuss about how troublesome these things are. And while we're waiting for the ES175 to show up out of China, my latest project, I want to go back and redo this one, okay? But this time, again, like I said, use a much thinner, come on Dave, much thinner gauge of wire than what I've been using here. I'll have to check that out and list what gauge that is with my caliper. Anyway, I want you to hear what it sounds like before I do the modification again. And this time I'm going to do it step by step, not just have it done and playing it for you to hear it and just tell you about it. I'll show you step by step what I'm going through, the misery I'm going through. As you can hear, that's one pup playing, right? Not playing very well. Another one's not at all. It's the back pup on the bridge that's playing, right? And I hate to, just use a bridge pup like just nothing but rock and not be able to have that jazz pup. It's 11 and a half jazz pup and 14 rock pup in the back. And I do want this thing to work properly because it's a great little guitar. I mean, the wood on this thing came out very nice. You've seen it before in previous videos. It's a beautifully made guitar. It's not an exact copy of a 339, but it's just beautiful. How they did this body. The sides of it are just fantastic. The binding is beautiful. Like I said, the woodwork is just unsurpassed on this. The binding, look here, on the neck, just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, but it is a 339. It's a smaller size Les Paul. Fits in the Les Paul case, but being a semi-hollow, it has one hell of a nice set of tones to it, depending on what type of electronics you shove through it, right? And I've got one hell of a kick-ass rock and roll pup on the back and a nice strong jazzy one, so it's not overbled by the back one. I play them both together. And when I did get it playing at first, it sounded really fantastic. I really loved the tone this thing's produced with these new pickups in it. Okay. Also, I wanted to point out that just found out that Trade Tang will no longer accept MasterCard or Visa. And I think the reason why is because MasterCard and Visa are fed up with these returns on these guitars and all the complaints of the buyers being screwed by the sellers, okay? Now, recently I had an ES175 ordered 5 weeks ago and it never showed up. It vanished in China via China Air Freight, okay? Just vanished, right? Which I'm really thinking that it was never there to begin with. It's all smoke and mirrors by the seller, okay? Trying to stall me where he got one, or if I wait long enough for that, kind of that trade site to allow his payment to go through. But of course I didn't. I got my refund, and I ordered from another seller, a new seller. I won't tell you his name right now until I see how he performs. Told him what I'm looking for, told him who I was, how many I've ordered, and what I'm looking for in the future. Until I need this guitar in at least 25 days or less. And it's the same ES175 D model, right? D model. And it's a beautiful looking guitar. I mean, absolutely a beauty. And hopefully it comes in. But I'll show you via this model the troubles involved with changing these things out, changing the pots and the caps out of a what you call it, a carved top guitar. It is just not easy unless you have clear access to the opening via the pots, and so the pups, right? And this one has a tiny hole drilled in it to get to the wiring to the pot, but not big enough for a potentiometer to come through. So it may open that channel completely up, which will be hidden by the plate anyway. It shouldn't cause that much play difference on the pickup itself or the hollow body tone that it produces, and make it much easier for me to do this job, right? And I will be changing the gauge of this wire to a much thinner gauge wire and using a lot more solder to hold these things in place. Yeah, and one other thing I wanted to mention about these guitars is that Gibson just recently, on their two newest guitars, had decided to go along with everybody complaining about the cost of these things, right? And their two newest guitars will have a choice of 1A, 2A, 3A flame maple top on their Les Pauls they're offering now. Alright? So, there's a difference of $500 from 1A to 3A maple flame top. You get that? $500 between the top two pieces of matched wood. They're not even book matched anymore. Of two pieces of wood on top of the newest Les Pauls, just because it's 1A maple, flame maple. Now, is it worth it? You know, as far as tone or play is concerned, no, it's not, because you all realize by now watching my channel, voodoo wood's voodoo wood. It's just wood. This wood's just as good as any other wood. However, does it look better? Yeah, it sure does. The difference between 1A and 3 to 5A is tremendous. You know how they go downhill. They have little spots, they have problems, they have less shimmer, they have less fire to them. And, you know, it's all in the presentation of the guitar, you know. But $500 is $500, no matter how you look at it. And that's a lot of money to throw in for two pieces of wood on top of your guitar. So, something to think about. That Gibson is thinking how to get the cost of the guitars down to where other people can afford them, right? So I think the two new ones start at $2,200, go up to $3,000, and stair step in between depending on what type of maple top that you order, right? My suggestion is you order the 3A maple top and be happy with it, because yeah, you can see a difference, but you sure can't hear it. Have any questions, give me a holler. Dave in Texas. Bye.